I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. This topic comes from my 30+ years of business, sales, and freight moving success. Watch, learn, and apply it. You'll move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. And call me at 626-309-9141 with any questions. Now explode your business with... Hello and welcome to my Tuesday conference call. I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. Today I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you make more money financially. And after the call today, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, read more of my blog posts, watch more of my videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. And if you have any questions today, any questions regardless of what it is, or specifically, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training? Then give me a call, Ted Keys. I'm at 626-309-9141. Today's training topic is these freight sales strategies get results. These freight sales strategies get results. What do I mean by freight sales strategies? Well, there are infinite freight sales strategies out there. Today we're specifically going to talk about strategies using this instrument here, the telephone. This is the best instrument that you can use in our profession, and that is the telephone. It's not a computer, but it's this object right here. Why? Because verbally communicating with freight prospects is the best way to communicate by far of all. So for those of you that are on my contact list, just scroll down to that email invite that I sent you today, open up that free attachment, and we are going to go over again these freight sales strategies get results. Now, as I said earlier, one of the best forms, or the best form of technology that you can use in our profession is the telephone. So let's talk about utilizing the telephone as a strategy in our profession. So let me start off by giving you a fact. I love facts. My hope and my prayer is that this sinks in and that you actually think about it and actually utilize it. But the fact I'm going to share with you today is successful freight sales prospecting using the phone is way more effective than email prospecting. Now, why is that? Well, it's because so many of your freight sales competitors focus on prospecting with emails and neglect this instrument's value. Again, that's the telephone. So I'm going to talk about nine strategies to develop to ensure that your freight sales phone skills are up to snuff, meaning they're at their highest quality. And these are key to developing, they're key to developing an unstoppable phone prospecting strategy, using the telephone. Start using these strategies today and you'll soon you'll really crush your freight sales goals using the telephone and not your computer. So your first phone strategy that you're going to utilize your first strategy is to plan your first 10 seconds. Plan your first 10 seconds when you get on the phone with a freight sales prospect or a future customer of yours. Now, it sounds simple, okay? And really, it is simple. It is simple to plan those first 10 seconds that you're going to use. However, few freight sales agents don't take the time to plan what they're going to say when shipping decision makers actually get on the phone. So think about it. You've called this guy 4 times now. He finally gets on the phone and you're sitting there stumbling and fumbling over your words. How useless is that? So you really have to plan out your first 10 seconds. The truth is, all right, most freight sales prospects decide within the first 20 seconds of a call whether they'll hang up on you or not. They're going to decide right away. And I do it the same. I do it when individuals call me to join our office. I can usually tell within 20 seconds if that individual has what it takes to become a successful agent or not. So for those of you that are on our office or in our office, hey, you did a great job of impressing me with your first phone call. Don't leave anything to chance, okay? That's my main point here. You know, don't leave anything to chance. Decide exactly what you'll say at the start of every phone call that you place, alrighty? So plan out those first 10 seconds. Now, if you really want to get good at this, go to my website, go to my Freight Sales Success Store, purchase my Freight Sales Success Guide. When you do, go to that document called the Freight Sales Call Information Sheet. That has all the pertinent answers that you're going to ask when you finally get through to a shipping decision maker. So that's all part of planning out your first 10 seconds. Second phone strategy is to start with their freight challenges. Again, it's not about you. Start with their freight challenges. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, okay, you finally got your freight prospect on the line. Now, what do? Well, take control of the conversation by talking about their common freight challenges that only they are familiar with. Now, how do you know what they're familiar with? Well, you know what they're familiar with because you've been around a while and you know what freight challenges are, okay? Always, always remember this point, and regardless of what you're doing, your freight prospects don't care about your freight service or the freight service that you're offering. They care only about you solving their freight moving frustrations, guys, provided that you get that far with them, provided that you get past that first 20 seconds, all right? So use your initial calls to dive right into their shipping challenges. First strategy, plan your first 10 seconds. Second strategy, start with their freight challenges. Don't make it about you. Again, always make it about them. Third phone strategy is to ask really detailed and pertinent questions. Really ask detailed, pertinent questions. So what's the biggest mistakes freight sales agents make on the phone? They don't ask those pertinent questions that I just talked about. It's great to start off your first 30 seconds with relatable issues, but immediately start asking questions about that. Now, here's an example. List those freight challenges that I mentioned in the earlier point when I talked about the questions to ask that typically drive other prospects to you. So here's an example, all right? Ask your prospect, about asking pertinent questions. Question. Do any of these challenges sound familiar to you? Or is that challenge what you have to deal with? All right? Again, as you ask these, you're going to talk about the freight challenges that they have. Then keep asking those questions as often as you can while your conversation progresses to a much tighter relationship. Third phone strategy is to ask those pertinent questions. Remember, again, it's not about you, it's all about them. So when I say ask questions, you're not going to ask yourself questions, you're going to ask them questions. Third strategy, ask pertinent questions. Fourth phone strategy I'm going to talk about here is to tone down your enthusiasm, all right? I mean, really tone down your enthusiasm. That's one of the mistakes that individuals make when they call freight prospects. They've got their voice at this real high pitch. I mean, their words aren't planned out. They don't sound professional. Freight sales prospects, they can tell that they've got a newbie on the phone. And if that's why you're not moving freight, it's because you still sound like a newbie. You've got to continue to make contact so when you do sound professional, that's when they give you the opportunity. However, let's go back to the strategy here. Tone down your enthusiasm. You see, most new freight sales agents show way too much enthusiasm on the phone, and that sabotages them from the get-go, just like I talked about earlier, guys. Instead, tone it down. Use an approach that's genuine and relatable, an approach that your prospect can relate to with you. How do you do that? Well, use a soft, quiet voice when you greet your freight prospect. That's the first thing. You're going to get a lot more attention that way. All right. So, your fourth strategy is to tone down your enthusiasm. Fifth phone strategy. All right. Just moving on. Your fifth phone strategy is be persistent and keep calling. Be persistent and keep calling. There's a fact that I always talk about, especially for beginners, for new freight agents. 80% of your sales will come between your 5th and your 12th contact. You see, I get this question all the time. Hey, I've been in contact now with this individual 2 or 3 times. Well, 2 or 3 times doesn't do anything, especially if you're new in the profession. I'll say it again, 80% of your sales come between your 5th and your 12th contact. What does that mean? That means that you have to be persistent. Not only do you have to be persistent, but you have to keep calling. You see, phone sales, just in general, it takes patience and a whole lot of persistence. My question is, how persistent are you? How patient are you? How persistent are you? You can't just call freight prospects once or twice, leave a few voicemails, and then brush them off because they're not returning your calls. Just because prospects ignore you one or two of your voicemails, that doesn't mean that they aren't interested in your freight service. And as I said earlier, 80% of your first sales will come between your 5th and your 12th contact. How many times do I have to repeat that? Well, as many times as I have to. Here's my main point. Phone prospecting takes time, so be persistent. You got to be persistent in this profession. Fifth strategy, again, be persistent and keep calling. Sixth phone strategy is leave attention-getting voicemails. Leave attention-getting voicemails. So what do I mean by that? Well, your ideal freight prospects are used to getting voicemails that are stiff, serious, and outright boring. Okay? Stiff, serious, outright boring. So what do? Well, be tongue-in-cheek and have some fun with your voicemails. I mean, you can do that, all right? You're more likely to stand out from the stiff crowd and capture your freight prospects' attention when you do it that way. I mean, typically, when beginner freight agents leave a voicemail, yeah, it's stiff and boring, and unfortunately, they make it about them. All right. So, how do you not leave a stiff and boring voicemail? Well, here's a good example. All right. Respond with, "I'm having a challenge getting through to you." I mean, for all I know, this could be the 4th or 5th time that they've contacted you. But either way, hey, I'm having a challenge getting through to you. Is it because you're too busy or want nothing to do with me? All right. So you can say this because you've called there 5 or 6 times. All right. Is that the case? If that's the case, just let me know. All right. Just by saying just let me know means that you're putting something out there so they will get back to you. You're not saying just let me know and then I'll go away. You're saying just let me know so you actually call me back and communicate with me. You see, provocative voicemails are much more likely to get your prospect's attention and get the responses that you're seeking. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. So the 6th strategy is leave attention getting voicemails. 7th strategy, and remember, I'm going over 9 here. There are 9 great strategies for you to utilize as you start making contact or get back to making contact with your prospects tomorrow. So the 7th strategy is schedule your next call right away with your prospects. Schedule your next call right away with your prospects. At the end of your first prospecting call, don't hang up after making a reference to following up soon, okay? Don't ever use following up soon. Basically, that's the kiss of death. Schedule an exact date, okay? Never say, I'm going to follow up soon. What you're going to do is you're going to schedule an exact date when you're going to follow up and a time for your next phone call and send your freight prospect an email while you're still on the phone together with them. So schedule your next call right away. Hey, if you agree that you're going to call a week from now, whether it be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, write it down, okay? And even if you can, again, if you're pretty talented, send them an email because you just got their email because they allowed it to, they gave it to you. So schedule that next call right away. Don't leave anything up to chance, all right? Eighth phone strategy that you're going to utilize is stick to your phone commitments. That goes right in hand with number 7. 8 is stick to your phone commitments. Never ever miss a phone call with a freight prospect. I mean, that's so easy to understand. Just never miss that commitment to call them back. It sounds obvious, but way too many new freight sales agents and even experienced ones don't follow up with their freight prospects, even when the first call was a great one, okay? Just because you had a great first call with a prospect and they gave you all the information that you want, high probability as soon as they hang up the phone, you will be a memory. They are not going to remember going into tomorrow, and next week, hey boy, that Ted, he sounded so great. I am really waiting for him to call me back. I mean, you're going to be a distant memory. So if you've scheduled that follow-up call, then commit to it, all right? Don't let an opportunity get away because you're disorganized, all right? Stay organized with notes to call those freight prospects on the days you promised to call them back. So your 8th strategy is to stick to your phone commitments. Not only schedule when you're going to call back, but then stick to it. That's the 8th strategy. 9th strategy is call during abnormal hours. Okay, notice how I said abnormal hours. Don't call during normal hours. Call during abnormal hours. The best prospecting calls are made, they're made before 9 a.m. and they're made after 5 p.m. and during the weekend. Now, why is that? Well, high-level prospects likely pick up the phone at odd hours. I mean, that's just the way it is. And you'll usually talk to a gatekeeper when you call during normal business hours. I mean, just think about it. You wonder, gee, between 9 and 5, when should I call this guy? Well, high probability, even when you do call him, you're going to be talking to a gatekeeper. So call during abnormal hours. Just like I said, before 9. I mean, if this guy is a sharp guy, if this gal is a sharp gal, they're going to be in there before 9, okay? So call shipping decision makers early in the morning, in the evening, or Saturdays afternoon for your best results. 9 great strategies for you to utilize that get results. Let me just go over these real quickly. First one, plan out your first 10 seconds. Second one is to start with their freight challenges. Again, don't make it about you, make it about them. Start with their freight challenges. Third one is you're going to ask pertinent questions. Fourth one is you're going to tone down your enthusiasm. Fifth, be persistent and keep calling. Sixth is to leave attention getting voicemails. Number 7, schedule your next call right away. 8, stick to your phone commitments. 9, call during abnormal hours, not during normal hours, but abnormal hours. 9 great strategies that get results. And again, I didn't say anything about using the computer or sending out emails. I talked about utilizing the telephone, one of the greatest instruments ever developed. Because let's face it, freight sales is all about connecting. It's all about building relationships with the marketplace. The best way to do that is verbally. You don't have to do it face to face, but doing it verbally, mouth to mouth. Utilize the telephone to do that. Your bank account is going to increase. The two go hand in hand. Not only sell your butt off, but really get good at selling your butt off. When you really get good at it, then your bank account just continues to climb. But it's not going to happen if you don't sell and pick up the phone, this thing here, and connect with the marketplace. One more time, remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, selling your butt off. I mean, really moving load after load after load. And how do you do that? Build your contact list. Build your contact list, and you're going to see over time that, hey, this customer over here, they really move 50 loads a week, and I'm doing 5 of them. Gee, my goal is to do 10 of them. How do you do that? By continuing to get better at the profession. Remember, when you're calling your prospects and customers, selling your butt off leads to banking your butt off. Great topic today. Again, these freight sales strategies get results. Put them into practice. You'll see when you put them into practice the results that you'll get. If you don't put them into practice, your results will be minimal to nothing. Great topic today. Thanks for joining me today on my Tuesday conference call. I will be doing this again next Tuesday, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Been a pleasure talking to all of you today. Take care. God bless. I'll see you all again next Tuesday on my Tuesday conference call. Take care. God bless, and goodbye. When you arrive at my Freight Sales Success Store today, you'll see a host of products available there for purchase. First one you'll see available is my flagship product. That is my Freight Sales Success Guide, typically for beginner and struggling freight agents. If you're searching for that daily motivation to set goals, to achieve them, to pick up the phone daily and connect and build relationships with the marketplace, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Quotes. And if you're searching for those specific skills, and there are many skills, many individual skills required to be successful in this profession, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Skill. I highly recommend each one of these products, available for purchase today in my Freight Sales Success Store. Do you have any questions again? Do you have any questions about today's call? Or more importantly, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training? Then give me, Ted Keys, a call. I'm at 626-309-9141. Great topic for today. Take these skills, apply them. You'll be amazed at what happens to your results.